Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with the daily technical update. It is Friday the 28th of July, and what a day on the US market last night. We had S&P 500 opening almost at 4,600, spiking above 4,600 just briefly, and then sellers took control to sell out through the entire session, closing below with a minus 0.64%. This is a bearish engulfing candle, and it actually takes out the past couple of days bullish moves. And as mentioned yesterday and the previous day also in my updates, the market or the index never closed above the peak of the doji, which we have here. We have this evening doji, so it's still very much in play. We never closed above, so I mean this just adds to the action yesterday. It just adds to the top and reversal picture. Also confirmed by the RSI that has been in divergence for quite some time. Same with the MACD. If we add the volume just very quickly here, we can see massive volume going through yesterday, which is a confirmation of the heavy selling. So the lower rising trend lines here, both the very short one and the not very short, but the little bit longer term, could be tested here within the next couple of days. I believe we will see a fairly weak market going into August, the next couple of weeks. Also, what is interesting is on the weekly chart, we have this, depending of course on what will happen today, this shooting star like pattern, which we also talked about. Some of the other big tech names also formed some shooting stars last week. So very interesting to see the price action also here on the S&P 500. We are now back below 45, 46, and we are in for a correction, possibly below 4,400. I think we will move below 4,400, possibly down to 43.30 around this support here. However, we will have the 55 daily moving average coming up, adding some support, but we are in for a correction. How big it will be is of course a little bit hard to predict, but around 4,400 seems in the cards. The Nasdaq 100 excuse me, the Nasdaq 100 closed below the rising trend line. We seems to be also in a topish mode here. The RSI has been warning about it for quite some time, and the volume going through yesterday also indicates that sellers are back in control, and the move below 15,000, 14,687, around that level we have some support, so we could see that over the next couple of weeks. So quite interesting move there. I'll just highlight that in Asia, it's really the opposite market, where Hang Seng has broken above its falling trend line, very close to the 20,000 level, and is now in a bullish mode. We have RSI above 60. And it indicates we could see higher Hang Seng. So it's totally changed the tune here on the Hang Seng market, where we could see it moving towards 21,000 here within the next couple of weeks. On the European markets, very strong move yesterday on DAX, still holding on today. We are very close to test the all-time high here at 16,427. I think we could see a further upside move towards the 16,785. That will not be unreasonable. We are in a bullish sentiment. We are in a bullish trend. Only to change that, we need a move below 16,000. AEX also in a bullish trend, as mentioned, room up to around 800 level, 802. Belgium markets also strong. but a little bit of correction is needed before next upwards move. CAC closed above, but it's still struggling to confirm that with the close of the RSI above 60. So it's a little bit uncertainties there, and it seems like it's struggling for momentum. However, we are in an uptrend, but it's not really strong and it's not really confirmed. Massive moves on the FX yesterday also. We had the euro dollar collapsing after it seemed like it was bouncing, but then it collapsed, and we could see it test the 78.6 retracement level just around 109.27, around that level, which is not unlikely. It's currently we are below the lower rising trend line, and we could dip a little bit lower. However, if we break below 108.30, well, then the picture has changed and we are in a bearish trend. But for now, it is a correction, and also the RSI. Keep an eye on that. Will it break below 40 or not? If it doesn't, well, then maybe that was the correction. On the dollar index, currently seems to trying to break through the 61.8 retracement at 101.73. We could see a move up to 102.40. It will still not change the overall picture of a downtrend, as you can see here, lower lows and lower highs. But if we move above 103.28, then it completely changed. But I don't think we'll see that. I think we will see very strong resistance here at the cloud, at the 55 and the 100 moving average coming down. Also big moves in cable, a heavy sell-off just below the 128, and I think we could see a dip down to 127 and a change, testing this lower rising trend line here before we are moving higher. If we should change to a bearish view on cable, well, 125.90 is the level to be broken. On the yen pairs, here we're starting with euro yen, also massive move, broken below the rising trend line, below 153, dipping below 152.50. And what is interesting, it is testing, or it did test the 40 level, actually closed below yesterday. So we are technically short term in a downtrend on the euro yen. So maybe we have a little bit of a double top pattern here going on. That is, seems like it, and that gives us some interesting targets where we could see maybe possibly a move down to around 150, dipping down to 148. On dollar yen, very close to test 137.85 again, maybe possibly dipping down. Couldn't really get above the 142, so I think we will see dollar yen being range bound here the next couple of days going into next week. Sterling yen also has a confirmed downtrend now. I think we'll see it dip down to around 174, maybe 172.50, but I think it will stay above the cloud. On the euro sterling, not really much going on. The double bottom was cancelled, so it's still caught in a range there. We have interesting move in the Aussie dollar market. Went straight through the 61.8 retracement yesterday and this morning. And I think we will see 65.95, these lows here, being tested fairly shortly, and then the medium-term downtrend will have resumed, and that's going to be interesting. Then we are talking about much lower levels. Maybe we should just very quickly look at Aussie yen. Right there, also below the rising trend line, confirmed downtrend, finding some support at a 200 moving average, but could dip down to around 90.25, a level there. Some volatility in gold spots, correction still ongoing. After trying to push higher yesterday, but couldn't really take out the peak from a couple of days ago. So it seems like we have a little bit of a larger correction going on. If we add the Fibonacci here, then, well, maybe we should have a look at the 61.8 retracement at 1930, 1929. We talked about it in a couple of updates where it could dip down to 1940, 1930 before I think we will see a gold spot to resume. Silver. Also a correction ongoing, and I think a correction possibly dipping down below 24 before buyers will come back in. We have the 100 moving average coming up, we have the 21 coming up, and also now the 55 starting to move around, and finally the 200 adding some support. So I don't think the correction will be that big. Copper. Still trading sideways, no change on the gold market, still in an uptrend with possibility up to around 87 on the Brent, and the WTI also 83.50 resistance is likely to be tested here in coming weeks. If we are looking at the US Treasury yields, now above 4%, and I think we will see a test of the previous peak here just below 4.10 and higher. So also medium term we are still in an uptrend, so we could move higher to previous peaks here going into August. So fairly strong trend there. And I don't have the charts here, but I just looked at the European 10-year, the Eurobond, and it seems to be on this course to 275. Okay, that's a long one today. I wish you a happy weekend, and I'll talk to you again Monday. Thank you very much.